Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be an interesting matchup between the Indianapolis Colts and the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Indianapolis Colts and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, you look at this Jaguar team. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Colts, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. This fielded at the 2. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. They go play action. Now Mahomes. Blitz coming, and down he goes. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Hey, right on cue. They set up the screen and complete it. They get 7 there on the screen. That'll set up a third down. Well, they took your advice from a bit earlier, tried the screen, but that one, it was covered up pretty well.
They did a nice job on it, but I still think it was the right idea. Probably just a block or two away from making it work.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Working from the gun, Mahomes. And that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
This is fielded at the 7. Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Now the first-round pick from Alabama, Josh Jacobs. He takes this for 3 to the 29. And now a look at the offense for Jacksonville.
When it comes to Larry Fitzgerald, you don't want to spend all of your time quoting numbers, but with him, how can you not? The 2016 Walter Payton Man of the Year in the NFL. He's an 11-time Pro Bowler, 9 seasons over 1,000 yards receiving, and let's face it, catches the ball all over the field against any type of coverage. He's Larry Legend, and he's a template for the best wide receivers in the NFL. Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
You're not ready. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. 51, Mike 51. 51. So we got. Go. Hey, Mike 51. Mike 51. Hey, here we go. 5-0, 5-0, 5-0. 51. Here we go. 51.
On third down, Winston. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Darius Leonard in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. As the Colts offense makes their way out, we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to.
Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick, and the return stops at the 39-yard line.
The good old cover 3 defense, partner. When you start playing football as a safety, that's the first thing you're taught. Middle of the field, be as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, and break on the football when it's thrown and pick it off, just as we saw there.
And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. As the season winds down and you look at them in totality, you know, the offense has struggled. The defense has been pretty good, so I would imagine the changes this offseason may be more on the offensive side of the ball.
And this is where we always hear the term complementary football, because as you noted, the defense has played well enough for them to win games, and the offense has held them back. So they've got to reward that defense by improving on offense. I don't know if you make a change at quarterback, running back, tight end. It doesn't matter. Get better players, better system, so they can play to the standards of the defense, and the win column will result.
On 2nd and 11 now. Winston, he'll find his tight end. That's Waller. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. A look there at the defensive starters for the Colts. They were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
And it was the pass rush that really keyed their victory. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks, and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here.
Easy. 51, Mike. Mike 51.
From the gun, Winston. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Justin Houston racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Patrick Mahomes on his way out for their next drive. And he'll need to find a way to shrug off the opening drive, if you can even call it a drive. One play and an interception, so he's got to forget that.
I know that in today's football, we have a good number of coaches who don't look at time of possession the way that the old school guys did. But there's still a place for it. I think that on this drive, after having thrown that interception, they're going to want to eat up a little bit more clock and run some offense and give their defense a little bit of a break. Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball, because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
but drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Yeah, he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Mahomes. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. This is taken at the 15. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. This is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
A check on Jacobs from a week ago. There isn't a coach alive who wouldn't like those numbers. Well over 100 yards and a touchdown, too.
Partner, I think all the coaches who are in that great coaching box in the sky would take those numbers.
So dead or alive?
Either way, they would take that kind of production.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Winston now from the 50. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 40.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work. And that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
Here we go. Here we go.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Off the play fake, Winston. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Winston. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Justin Houston, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work. Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. And you know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Watch out. Right hand. Tight end right. Tight end right. We got 4. Right hand.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. No score after 1 on EA Sports. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Johnson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. That was shades of Tennessee volunteer football back in the 80s with Charles Davis coming up from the secondary to make the tackle for a loss.
You mean my teammates doing that, right? Because they would tell you, my coach said, where's that tape? I want to see that. But how about the complete package there? Not just playing the pass, but being a willing tackler and making a really nice play.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Taken from just outside the 30. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Jags will have great field position to start this drive. On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. He'll get only a couple down to the 44.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 44, Winston. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Justin Houston in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Winston. Man open, that's Damian Ratley. 23 yards on the play.
And that was a heck of a shot right there by Jameis Winston. Boy, he has a superior right arm, doesn't he? You saw him play baseball.
Yeah, he's actually a switch hitter in baseball. Outfielder, and then, of course, a very hard-throwing pitcher. That's translated well in the National Football League.
That it has. When he has to make that throw on a line, he's got plenty of arm to do it.
Akeem Hicks that time on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
58, right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there. It's coming this way, Here we go.
From the 22, Winston. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. DJ Chark, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Will Lutz on for the point after. And this is up and good. The score now 7-0 Jaguars. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it results in a touchdown for Jacksonville. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. Little soul-searching now.
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
The Colts on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. To throw, it's Mahomes, and he finds McLaurin. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness.
And they finally get to him as he's taken down. Ndamukong Suh make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
And that's their first sack of this game. But how about last week? 6 sacks. Great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. Running the jet sweep with Jones. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets them back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. The Colts on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Complete. The tight end, Kelsey. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. On 2nd down, Jacobs. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Winston on 3rd and 2. And he's got Fitzgerald. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 10 yards there, good enough for a Jags 1st down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. 2nd quarter action with 1:59 remaining. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Jameis to throw it. He'll find Lindsey here. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
To throw again on 2nd down. Winston, wide open receiver, complete. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down.
Black 25. Watch the curve. Watch the curve. 58. Right over there. Right over there. Yeah.
1st down, Winston. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Akeem Hicks in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, with the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
You know, a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Play action now, Winston. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's third. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down.
In your face.
From the shotgun, it's Winston. He's got his man. That's Hardman. Touchdown, Jaguars. Nicole Hardman, his second touchdown on the season. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
So that drive goes 8 plays, and it culminates in a Jags touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Patrick Mahomes on his way out for their next drive. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. Looking to throw again on second down. Mahomes into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And he's giving his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more.
Here we go. Watch the pass. Watch the pass. Okay, go. Mike 51. Mike 51. Here we go, D. Here we go.
Following the interception, Winston steps away to his left. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. And Lutz puts this one through. And that will do it for this first half. So an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Once again, it's Jacobs. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30. And now we'll get a timeout. Looks like we've got a Jaguar and some discomfort down there on the field. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back.
Let's go. Single receiver, single receiver. Hey, you're on an island over there. Single receiver.
Now Winston. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Darius Leonard, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And they will get to this one and down it at the 13-yard line. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Running the jet sweep with Jones. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and they're going to have a third down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Here's Mahomes to throw, and that will be incomplete. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fielded just inside the 30. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And that will come the offense as they take over. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself. Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping. Check.
A quick throw out to Hardman on the perimeter. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
On third down, Winston. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's fourth down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
But these guys going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They'll run with Michelle. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. but I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender.
Oh.
To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
That's a lot of points.
Get ready.
The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Another run by Lindsey. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They go play action. Winston. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield, but that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Here's Winston. Able to find Warner. That's complete. And they'll get him to the ground, and he has another first down at the Colts 35.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They'll go again with Lindsey. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The Jaguars on 3rd down. Not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This will be 3rd and 5. On 3rd down, here's Lindsey. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on 3rd down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it, stuffed them for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
That's good for 28 yards. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Now left side on the swing pass. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
The Colts on third down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 11. Now Mahomes. He completes it to Julio Jones. Julio Jones all alone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Julio Jones. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Colts are able to draw a bit closer. Mahomes now going to lead his guys up for the 2-point try. And sometimes those slants, they can be so tough to do. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Well, they tried to get 2 and ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready.
That's it, baby. We go work.
And the Jacksonville offense on their way out again as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball. I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. 2 runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10. Here's Winston. They'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Now the Georgia Southern man. This is Jerick McKinnon. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down. Play fake. Winston. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. The linebacker, Miles Jack, able to knock that one away.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
On 2nd down, a run with Lindsey. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what we said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. So they come up on second down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. They'll keep it on the ground. Lindsey, and able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll run with Lindsey. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal.
Check 37. Check 37. Green, 17.
They'll run the toss. It's Lindsey. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone, trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. They'll try to run with Lindsey, and he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. Phillip Lindsey, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give the Colts 13 yards and a 1st down. Mahomes now to throw. It's Kelsey on the ground. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Throwing again on 2nd down. Mahomes nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Ndamukong Suh in there to make the sack on what will be the final act in this ball game. So this will be a win for Jacksonville, and I think the game balls need to be distributed on the defensive side of the football, and I bet that you would agree.
Yeah, if you hold a team under 10 points, that's a job well done, really well done. So I would say game balls for every starter and every key player who participated in this game.
Now, see, I only like one game ball. You're handing out multiple, although I set you up by saying game balls, plural, but I
like where we're going with this, though. You say one to represent, like the best player of all of that, and I say multiples so that you keep everyone motivated and involved.
You're a man of the people.
I'm a man of the people. I thought I was the only child.
You get a game ball, and you get a game ball. Game balls for everybody. So for the Jaguars, it will wind up a .500 season as the win means they'll finish right at 8-8. And by just about all accounts, not the type of year they were hoping to have. Meanwhile, for the Colts, this loss will mean they finish the season right at .500 at 8-8. But they've got better days in their future. Of that, you can be sure.